And we got bananas in chat from I Love Cats, Randy DeCole 2002, Denko, Ferb Suit, Tuxiban, Jolkip. I'm not going to lie, it's very difficult to read the bananas because the chat is moving so fast. I literally... Jeez, you lot are crazy. You lot are crazy with your bananas. Thank you ever so much, everyone. My goodness me, 1,100 peeps already tuned in. No wonder it's so fast. Welcome to a Saturday morning live stream here on the twitch.tv/theassumer. And yeah, this is my last one before I go on holiday, so I've been looking forward to it, you know. I'm not actually going to take all of this. I don't think we need as much as we have stashed up. Really pleased, actually, at how farm this fast works. Oh, this fast is so farmy. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I only logged in for a couple of hours yesterday, and then I had quite a few stacks of walls. So I've been doing a little bit of AFKing over here, and getting some supplies together. It's all looking pretty good. Are you British? Says SK14L. I am indeed British. I am from the U of K. Right, things are in the inventory. We're ready to go. We've managed those items. We're picking up these things. We're going to check up on the amount of shears up the top, because that was quite a bit of AFKing going on. There is actually a proper way to walk up here, so I'm going to use that instead of rocketing around. Need to clear my voice periodically today as well. I think I'm still setting a little bit. Right, so I think I've probably used about a full... I can't remember if it was this one or this one. I've either used probably between a full double chest and... there you go, 2 double chests. The U of K says nothing. Yeah, the U of K. Your inventory is so organised, says Technical Aspect. I think it's really good to have an organised inventory. That is my opinion. Whew. Right, up into the sky we go. We're going to do it properly this time. Last time on a live stream, completely fluffed it. Okay. Looking good. That was the other thing I wanted to do. Make sure we got sounds. X, is your game muted? Says Monsi Zach. You're right on time, my friend. It is muted. We got noises in the ear here from Pyroburnium, resubscribed for 15 months, saying the 15 months I have my emotes. Yes, yes you do. Diaz for 20 months, and Pascalie C has subscribed. I've butchered your name. Let's face it, I butchered your name. Thank you so much for the subscriptions, peeps. I appreciate your support as always. And let's go. Oh, I wonder what happens when you fly through the portal. Do you come out the other side flying? I mean, that could be a thing, right? Oh, we're actually right where we need to... There was me. This is my bed, because... In fact, I'm pretty sure this bed and that bed are both my bed, but that's my bed, because I set my spawn next to it. I'm going to take it with me. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, this is where we need to be, but I was going to go somewhere else first, but it doesn't matter, actually. Also, we might need the to relog with the schematic thing on soon. But anyway, let's head over here. Put these things down, and we're going to start off with some terraforming. Was what I planned for today. See how much of that we can do. So we'll probably need some torches as well. Light this thing up as we go. I've got 10. I've got 10 torches. Okay, this is why you got to be organised, peeps, because now I'm opening all of the chests. So we'll keep them over here together. You should ask Scar to terraform the land, says Nico. I fancy doing it myself over here. I fancy doing it myself. Okay, that's more than we need for now, isn't it? So for now, we'll start off with that. Put those back in there. We got noises in the ear. Cheers and bits here from I Love Cats, saying, is this the last stream before your vacation? Well then, let me say happy birthday. Our boy is turning 8 in 4 days. So proud of you. I'm very confused. Oh! Oh, cats! I know what you're talking about now. I completely forgot. Yeah, it'll be my 8th year anniversary on YouTube. Huh. I guess normally I catch that date when I'm coming up to it, but I kind of forgot about it this time. Huh. Thank you, Cats. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, 8 years on YouTube. Completely forgot about that. That old thing, you know. And now there's dirt faces in chat. Oh, give me a break. Oh, I forgot a date. Oh, jeez. Come on, don't be so pedantic. I tend to celebrate the odd numbers anyway. I did a special for the first year, then for the third, then the 5th and the 7th. So I don't have to do anything for the 8th, but I'll do something for the 9th. All right? All you smarty pantses out there giggling. Oh, how could he forget 8 years? Jeez, bunch of smarty pants. Right. Let's get this second height thing in over here. Kat, thank you so much for the cheers and the bits, by the way. I appreciate that. And thanks for the reminder. We got Conrad, Dad, Redemption, here, subscribing. We've also got Iron Fist 2345 for 6 months. That's half a year. My goodness me. And we also got Nova Steel MC. Thank you so much for your tremendous support, peeps. It's always appreciated. You know that. I want you to know that. Asuma, what about the 10th year? Nah, that one's not very special. 9th and 11th, though. What did you think about the Area 51 raid, says Jonathan12010102121212. Okay, added some extra numbers there at the end. You know, I spent a fair bit of time yesterday periodically checking up on it, seeing what was happening. From what I can tell, Area 51, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that no one got hurt. A lot of people could have turned up and bad things could have happened, and that didn't. Apparently estimates are around 150 people actually turned up, or that's the biggest crowd that congregated at the gates. I've heard that one person was arrested for urinating near the gate, and that's it. Although I've also then since heard that apparently some YouTubers got arrested for going inside the beyond the perimeter where they say don't go any further, you know. Oh man, I think I've gone about this the wrong way. We might just disregard what I'm doing down here. I think I should probably build from the top outwards, because one of the things that I wanted was for this to not feel too much like we've just built it up into that space, right? Because how can I describe it? It's got to look natural, and the way it will look more natural the bigger it is, I guess is what I want to say. So maybe we should actually start from up the top here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That is exactly what we'll do. So I'm gonna start with this layer since we're already putting a few in, and be sure to bring it out and make it quite big. So yeah, glad that no one got hurt, and I don't know. Is there anything else about the Area 51 raid? Anything else going on? Let me know in chat. But that's as far as I know. Pretty much nothing happened, which is good. We got a noise in the ear from Human Pork Rind, resubscribing for 20 months in a row. Thank you ever so much for 20 months of support, dude. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying. Someone got arrested, says Boy Fluid. Yeah, I heard that someone got arrested for urinating, and then I also heard, literally just in chat, in this chat right here, someone said that apparently some YouTubers got arrested, but I didn't read that anywhere else. And Naruto Runner became the god of Reddit. I saw that clip, yeah, it was quite funny. Two Dutch YouTubers got arrested the week before the raid. Oh, right, so before the raid. I'm working and watching the stream, so could you please describe what you're doing, says Theo the SSJ. So we're just landscaping and building like fake terrain that comes outwards from this IKEA. The reason so is so that we can make this IKEA. It was supposed to be a little less work and to make the backside of it a little less jarring, but I now kind of think like, see, this is where this is one of those moments where creative mode is awesome, because you could just undo all of this and then start again. I think coming up this high was probably a bit of a mistake. I think I should have come out about midway and then just built out so this thing wasn't so... In fact, let's use what we've got so far. I'm an arse so much about building. I really do think it's going to look kind of ridiculous like that. What do you think, peeps? I think maybe it needs to stop around the height of the corner. So if we build up the walls underneath, we could rip this out. I don't mind doing that. It does look a little silly. Some people in chat are saying make it bigger. Well, these things are always a process. How many stacks do I want to take? About that much of each. So, some people are... Once again, my chat is just filled with #ShopAtSahara. Way to degrade the value of our stream, you know. I'm looking for feedback and all I get is spam. Way to have a quality interaction. Actually, I don't want to kill you. How are they... Someone keeps coming over here and changing this. I swear, of the several times I've worked on this, some of the blocks go missing. It's so annoying. Right, that wall's still all intact. Oh my goodness me. Please fly, there we go. Right, okay, I am behind on noises in the air. Have they despawned is a question. They haven't. They should. I went high enough, didn't I? Well, actually, you're now on that side, so maybe you're a fresh spawn. I think it's a fresh spawn, actually. Alright, so let's catch up with these noises in the air, because I'm way behind. We've got Zedwolf, resubscribing for 4 months, saying, "Hi X, just tuned in. I've been very inspired by what you're doing with Hermitcraft so far. So, 4 years ago, I looked for a similar whitelisted server and met a wonderful community that I've been playing with for 4 years now. So, cheers from Nameless Craft. Awesome, glad you found a home. Tim N is here subscribing. Panda Mum, Todd Machines, XXWookXX has subscribed as well. We've also got MTB12 subscribing tier 2, and Beanman2682 subscribing with the Prime, and OJ Irie subscribing with the Prime. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. We have Badger Spanner here doing cheers for own bits, saying morning X and lovely peeps. Welcome Badger to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Thank you ever so much for your cheers and bits as always. Who is on the server right now, says Jonathan? Just True Symmetry and myself. What am I doing? That one. Okay, so we're figuring out what height we're going to do this across from. So if I go from here, what I'll eventually need to do is just move it up 1 or 2 blocks as we go across. Otherwise it'll look a bit too little, right? So we'll go across here. Look, we've got a zombie visiting us now. And then somewhere around here is the middle, but I'm not entirely sure where it is. Oh, look, we've got a pillager on the inside again. How did you get over here, fella? And we got a noise in the ear from Cursed Winter 490, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Cursed Winter, thank you ever so much. I appreciate your support and hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, so here's the bit where the yellow goes like around the corner. So we can do that too. 2 can play at that game. And then we'd be going down like this. Dude, that pillager's annoying me. Feel like I'm being stalked. Wow, I'm basically going to rip out everything, or most of the terraforming I've done so far. And we got cheers and bits in the ear here. It's Conrad Dad Redemption. With the cheers and the bits, saying loving the new idea building. Best of luck to you and the new guys. #ShopAtSahara. There's new deals in the Sahara bargain bin now. Give it a go to get the good deals. Also, it may help you with your spam problem. Thank you so much for the cheers and the bits. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream. have a good one with us today. Okay. Have a 2-to-1 gradient, says Mappers. How does that work? 2-to-1? I don't want my gradient to be too natural. Are you saying every 2 blocks go up by 1? That would... See, if I do that, that would create a very obvious kind of, like, steady gradient. You know, the Minecraft terrain doesn't always have steady gradient. We need to kind of emulate it to some extent. I'm liking this music. It's the new Crinkles soundtrack. And we got a noise in the ear, but nothing new has popped up over there. Is it lagging behind again? I think there's so many people watching. Oh my goodness me, 2,500 peeps are watching. That is a lot. That's like a record. For a while we haven't had that many, so welcome everyone. Maybe it's all those people hitting the follow button that's causing the noise, the other noises in me to come through slow. By the way, if you haven't hit the follow button here on Twitch, be sure to do so. You know, because you'll catch another live stream real soon, I'm sure. You know, not going on holiday or anything like that. No, I'm not going on a holiday. What are you on about? What are you on about, assuming you won't be streaming for a while again? Shut up. Oh. Are you excited for the fletching and smithing at table functions? I mean, I'm not terribly excited, but they'll be added, and hopefully some new cool features will come from them, but probably not. You'll probably find that they're going to do exactly what you think they're going to do, those tables. Hey, I've just had an idea. I guess what we can do around this spot... Why did I drop... Oh, I've already built the wall up. I was just thinking I can put blocks here and start building the terrain here already. Can't I? Now I want to get back up in there. There we go. So we're going to bring that much of the wall out to be visible, just because the way we did it before, I think it was a bit too much. So if we go up here, look over our shoulder again. Yeah, that's probably going to be way better, isn't it? Right, let's tear out some more of this terrain. That's huge, says Epicy. Yeah. Gotta play on a big scale. I mean, this is Hermitcraft, right? This is what we do. I've also got to go and pick up all these blocks again, haven't I? I didn't think this one through. Now I'm actually creating like a lot of floaty blocks everywhere, which is not good. X, is it an idea that Idea and Sahara work together? I don't know about that. Like, it is what it is so far. We barely got on going, you know. I'm building the building, then stuff's going to be built on the inside. You'll have to wait and see what happens. Cats in chat says G's. Are gonna be on the Hermitcraft channels panel, says LTK Range. I'll be on holiday, if you mean me. Let's hop over here. Hop back. Do a lot of hopping, basically. Hopping and popping. This shovel is amazing, says Noxamuso. This shovel? This one little shovel right here? What's so special about it? I mean, I guess it's putting in a lot of work. Man, I see those sneaky pillagers again. Look. Conspiring, looking out. Okay, there we go. That's all we need to remove for now. But I've kind of left all the blocks that I now need to work with on the ground. So, probably a good idea to come over here. Yeah, let's just put all of that away for now. This thing's going to become an absolute mess whether I want it to or not. That's one thing that sometimes happens with storage, it just becomes a mess. Will Corrales or B help you? Well, neither of them are online at the moment. But when it comes to building this building, that's my responsibility. They're doing all the shops and stuff that go on the inside, all the sales thing. I'm going to sell some stuff too, actually. Dude, if that guy ends up hurting my sheep, I'm going to be so disappointed. So disappointed. I'm going to be like, why, Mr. Pillager? Why'd you have to do that? I need to sleep in a bed before bad things spawn and come and try and kill me, don't I? Oh, we do not want bad things trying to kill me. Okay, I think we've got most of the blocks here. And there's a load for hiding in the ferns. There we go. Oh no! I didn't sleep quick enough. No! Quiet. Quick. Quick. Before they get close to me. By the way, I got a cup of tea and it's prime time for drinking it. We also got tons of noises in the air. I can't keep up. JavoX is here with the cheers and the bits saying Shamrock. Thank you ever so much, JavoX. I appreciate the bits and the support for the channel. We have Double Moses resubscribing for 12 months. Saying 1 year of derp. That is absolutely true. After a year, I hear it rubs off on you. Lucky Davis 25. Miguel Utas. ILLLLL has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Cater1NAA. iSkywalker53 and Bob Boobs has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much for your Prime subscriptions, Pete. As always, I appreciate that. That is some hot quality tea right there. It was just yesterday. That I cancelled my Amazon Prime subscription. And boy, oh boy, do they like to make you click on a lot of boxes. They like to hide that option hidden away in the Amazon website. You've got to click for a lot of pages to cancel your Amazon Prime subscription. There should be rules against that. I really do think they should. That a company kind of like hides the means to leave the company just buried in all of these different menus. It's really sneaky. It's really sneaky in my opinion, but I know how to get there now because I've had to cancel it a few times. Do I not have any ender pearls? Really? Really? Really now? We have a noise in the ear here from Slam Dem Berries, subscriber of Amazon Prime, and Cater1NAA has gifted subs to Scoopy Wolf and JellyB14. Well, if you just heard your name being read out there, Scoopy Wolf and JellyB are now subscribers thanks to Cater1NAA. And Cater, I thank you for supporting the community and gifting those subs. Very, very kind and generous of you to do such a thing. And yeah, hope you enjoyed today's stream. Interlusive says, I agree, I cancelled my Prime membership today and was irritated by the amount of pages I had to go through. Oh yeah, and then they love to put you through all those buttons. Like, I think I went through 3 pages of buttons where it was like, the left button was like, keep all of your Prime subscriptions and benefits, and the right button was like, pay half price to keep your, you know, benefits and all of this. And then, I see what's going on here. And then I clicked that, and then literally the next page was pretty much the same thing again. It's like, yeah, I don't want this Prime subscription. Please stop trying to trick me into keeping it. But hey, it's what they do, right? Master Rebelled says FOV looks strange. Well, we're playing on default, so if you don't normally play on default, it might look a little bit odd to you. I'm really not a fan of the Quake Pro FOVs. That makes me feel nauseous when I look at that. Like, there's just so much information put onto the screen. It's all like spread out, and then when you turn, it like moves too quickly. I can't get along with it. Here we go. This will probably look far better when we take a look from further back again. Badger says it's like looking through a fisheye lens. Kind of. I think fisheye lens a little bit more bearable, at least in the way that I've seen them used. The FOV thing is just, oh, it's too much. For me, the Quake Pro one, too much. Right, when we get this corner in, we'll be able to take a step back and look. And just see how it's going. Whoa! We might put a second idea logo around the back here, maybe like a small one, because it's a bit more of a like back of the building type vibe. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea. It's important that you see that it is a big fat warehouse, which it is. It's a big fat warehouse. Okay, let's have no illusions. Maybe a better way to build the terrain would be, rather than to fill it in, why don't we build the contour lines? I think that could be really clever, actually, now I think about it, because it takes a long time to fill in, and you know what I like to do on these streams? I do like to make progress, even though we're doing mostly kind of grindy stuff, but if we just did the contour lines, that would be a really good way to see the massive lands that we're landscaping, and like where it's going to go and stuff. One of the things I did want it to do is sort of go over the top of some of these trees. Thought that might look cool. So it really kind of like blends in. rather than just rather sharply falls down, you know. X, do you and Corrales and B-Dubs have a group name? Yeah. The Idea Guys, I believe. Or just Idea. We've got a noise in the ear from Karuto Shiro77 subscribing with Amazon Prime. We got GamerBest222 resubscribing for 2 months saying hashtag idea. And Mr. Tom Tomon subscribing with Amazon Prime. We also got Jolkip here with a donation saying, if I told you there was a happy sounding black metal, would you be interested? I've listened to a fair bit of happy sounding black metal over the years. It does not surprise me that such a thing exists. If so, you should listen to Verhuling by Nagaroth from the album Jeheristan. Jeez, I can't even say that word. Okay, I will make a note. I've listened to Naragoth way back when and was never particularly keen on that guy. Not just for the music, but for ideologies and stuff like that as well. But I can check that song out, dude, after the stream. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Beck Loves Pandas is here resubscribing for 8 months saying, hey X, hope you're well. Sorry, I'm late to the stream. No problem at all. Welcome to the stream, Beck. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Why don't you hire Scar to terraform for you, says Banana Zuma. Ah, because I wanted to do it myself. I Am Evil Cupcake is here subscribing. Thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. Aren't you scared that the wall will somehow catch fire, says Lupos. No. The wall can't catch fire. Hey X, what mod do you use for your shulker boxes? It's called Shulker Box Viewer or something like that. It's got a very plain, straightforward name. Okay, let's go do the second contour line, which is this one. So now you'll probably start to understand what I mean by contour lines. Like on a map. Except we're going to build these rings out here, just floating about. Do you use carpet on Hermitcraft? We have, no, we don't use carpet. We have fabric to load like a slight modification to some of the authentication code. Oh my goodness me, I can't talk. It's supposed to help with flying, which it hasn't really done. And, oh, I see, look, they found their way around the corner now. And it does remove ghost blocks, so we don't have ghost blocks thanks to this tiny little mod. Which is cool. Alright, let's go in a little bit closer over on this side. And those pillagers are having a dance together, aren't they? Asuma, what if you kill the raiders? Will they stop spawning? No, they will continue to spawn. And I'll have some more grass, please. Right. And over to here we are. So all of this kind of needs to get ripped out, doesn't it? There we go. Then we go back like this. Asuma, why not use Paper MC Server, says Black Jesus? Because then we wouldn't be playing vanilla Minecraft, and I think people want us to play vanilla Minecraft, is the idea. Even though we are playing like... We're basically playing vanilla Minecraft anyway, but we just got this tiny little mod to the authentication code. Authentication? I just can't say anything today, can I? Not having a good talky day. Yeah, this probably would come out a little bit further, wouldn't it? To about here somewhere. Those pillagers suck, I'm just saying. I'm not being mean, but they're not very good. They're going to get fired. You're supposed to kill the player already. But we're wandering around all over the place. And taking full damage, apparently. Right, there we go. There's the next contour. We'll do a little fly off and look over our shoulder again. Yeah, it's going to work. I think this is going to work. I think the real problem was just being too ambitious to begin with. So here's what I'm thinking now. Why don't we come down to this level? Now around here it does actually kind of need to drop down. Guy, no. Look, you see? You followed me for ages, now you're dead. What are you playing at? This stuff I think does need like a sharp drop. Oh, not. Did you not see what just happened to your friend? Well, you're not paying attention. Goodness me. Right, I still think we need it to come sort of relatively down around here. Do you listen to Sabaton, says Raelise. What I say to anyone asks, do you listen to? Good idea to search for Asuma music blog on the Googles, and you can find my music blog, and you can type in the name of the band there, and then you'd find out if I've listened to them recently or not. And you'd hear my thoughts and opinions on such a band. Okay, we need more blocks, we need to sleep, clearly. Nice staircase, says Mystery Owl. Well, what I'm trying to do is bring it down around the corner a little bit. What a sellout, says Cats. What have I done to sold out? I'm very confused. Hey, wait a minute. Why did it... Am I going mad? It double... Did I just click out... I don't know what I just did. Did I just click out the wall? Huh. Okay, we got more noises in the air from Callum LB, resubscribing for 19 months, saying thanks for the great content. No problem, dude. Thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So that's relatively close down to the ground. Since I don't know entirely what's going to happen around that corner, I kind of want to focus... I mean, and this is a staircase, right? So I'll use it as such. I kind of want to quickly focus on what's going to happen over here. So we've got two contour lines here. And one of them, I think we might aim to go for that ravine over there. Let's bring this out a little bit further. So I have quite a steep incline leading into that area, but I've noticed some terrain over here is possibly something we could work with. Have you heard of the Hermitcraft recap, says Like Lego Worlds. I mean, not only have I heard of the recap, I've watched every single recap video, and I communicate with Zloy and Pixel Riffs every now and then. I think actually we might be a little bit high, because we're kind of at the peak. So maybe this one was probably too soon, wasn't it? We need to go down by about 2 blocks, I reckon. And now I'm down here, great. So let's scale it back again. Assuming you should make a data pack that allows you to enchant like it's 1.14.2. I get a lot of requests for data packs that don't make sense. Like things that you can't do with data packs. You should make a data pack that, I don't know, like that. Like, you know, changes enchanting. If you have a data pack suggestion, I'm always ears to hear this kind of stuff. But if you're going to make a suggestion, make it something that you can actually make with a data pack. Like, data packs don't mean you can just do absolutely anything you want. There are limitations and parts of the game that are not touchable. Every business starts with a problem and not with an idea. Haha, says Jack Betzler. I think businesses can start with ideas instead of problems. Badger Spanner is here with cheers and bits, saying, by the way, I'm not Queen of the Nerds. We decided my proper title should be Dork Empress. I like that one, Dork Empress. Thank you so much for the cheers and the bits, Badger. I appreciate it. Every business starts with an idea to solve a problem, says Anonymous Fox. Some companies exist to sell things that aren't problems, right? Like, think of tack. Think of all the sort of tack you see, like toys and trinkets, and they're not solving a problem, they're creating one. But yeah, this is the problem with anything. Anytime you try and come up with some clever quote of da 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 da, all of these things and that, and the other. It's like, man, there's so much diversity in the world, in so many different forms. It don't really matter what you come up with. There's always going to be something different to it. Alright, unless you're like, all people like breathing. I'll be like, oh yeah, I think all people do like breathing, don't they? I like breathing. Do you like breathing? Yeah, yeah. Oh, we all do that. Good point. Trying to give this transition here where it gets a bit rocky a little bit more shape. Feel like it might be missing some. Anyway, that will probably do the trick for now. And then where does our next contour line appear? Because the next one is the one that I want to work with. Okay, I'm going to put a block here, there, and there, and then here. That is our next contour line right there. Do you know what happened to Gree and Rendog and Impulse? I heard they may have went into time and space. I only had the time to flick through their videos, unfortunately. I'll have to catch up on the recap, which I watch. I watched that recap to get recapped, you know? Weird, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. What? You watched the recap? To learn about what's happening on the server? What is this? So I have this vision as well of what we're doing here, creating like a spooky sort of underground area where there's all these like tree bits going into the roof. I think it'll look really cool. This is quite a long-term project though, this transforming that I'm doing here. So we're going to lay down some basics today and then move on. I am aware that like when you tune in for a stream, watching someone place grass blocks for ages is kind of a bit dull. So we're going to get these contour lines stretched out over to this spot and then probably kind of move on. But if you look at now how the terrain rises up a little bit here, it's going to make it feel a bit more natural overall, I think, to merge it all together. And it's kind of cool to do a big landscaping project every now and then. And who knows, maybe we can do something with this big crazy underground area. So that's what we're looking for in that spot. Let's get up into the sky. That's not up into the sky, is it? Come on. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you could see how I could just kind of curl some of that land around to the side there. That's pretty good. Then on the opposite side, we need to pick our battles, so to speak. We're probably going to drift not too far from what we've already done here. Now we're going to have pillagers following us again, aren't we? Oh, my favourite. Fiona says, Dole, 20k people watched Mumbo dig a hole by hand on his first stream. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Hey, it's the nature of the stream. You're hanging out. You know, you're here with me. You know, if this was a YouTube video, you'd have clicked skip already. But the excitement and the thrill of the stream keeps you here. I don't know. Hey, Asuma, would you consider adding custom hunger health bars to your Vanilla Tweaks resource pack? Maybe. The problem with a lot of the suggestions for Vanilla Tweaks is that it's vanilla but it's tweaked, and quite a lot of times I get suggestions that are like not really in line with the vision of Vanilla Tweaks, which is to sort of look at things in the vanilla game and think that could be slightly better, but not to say retexture an entire block or reimagine a part of the game. It's just about tweaking it, right? Hence the name, Vanilla Tweaks. So unless an idea like really fits that, I don't think it's going to be taken upon that much. Actually, I think around here is probably where I want to curve it into that corner over there. And man, I'm just realising now how much of a grind this is. Like when I come back, I'm going to have to do some landscaping grind, that's for sure. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do much more than that, because, yep, they're going to start shooting, and this probably needs to be a little bit lower. Oh, great, they knocked me off. So yeah, that kind of works, I think. Right, we should put some torches down in this area, but I'm being chased by that lot, so let's go and far enough away to make them despawn. We got a noise in the ear from Volcat Nos. Volcat Nos, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much, Volcat. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, all of this down here can be like utilized as additional IKEA space, which is cool. Now let's move on to the interiors, which is the other big thing we've got to do. So we've got to rip out a whole bunch of this down here and prepare it for building. We've got to move those sheep again. They've been moved quite a few times now. Gonna bring it all down to this level here. And this is my Mumbo stream. Look, I'm just digging a hole. Very cool. Did Dale stop barring for a second? What I think I'll do around here as well is just fill in some of these caves a little bit. I feel like they need filling in. Right. Wow, Asuma copying Mumbo's stream, says Crow. Asuma! Stop copying Mumbo! Stop playing on the Hermitcraft server! You copycat! Jeez. Calm down, mate. I mean, you're playing Minecraft, the whole purpose of the game is to dig, says Platinum Knight. I think the game has more purpose than just digging. I think it goes beyond that. Oh yeah, I don't really want to fill in anything higher than where we're at right now. Daggy Dogs is unoriginal. Oh, my poor little feelings. My lack of originality. Oh no. What can I do? Don't judge my name, Fortnite sucks now, says Fortnite Boss. I mean, does it suck now? I'm not aware that it changed that much. I mean, if you like things and you're into things, I think it's really important in life to like things because you like them, not because they appear to be what you should like or be current, right? Like, not picking on you, not suggesting that's true, but your comment gives me the suggestion that, you know, Fortnite was cool, but now it's not. Man, screw all that. Screw all that. If you like something, like it and enjoy it. Forget what the trend is. Forget what's popular. You know? I really do think it's a sham to just do things because, oh, this is what people do now. Like, oh, this is trendy. This is cool. Be yourself. Enjoy what you do. Enjoy the things you want to enjoy. Don't follow trends just because it's the thing to do. If you like the trend, nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong at all. But, yeah. Be authentically you. And then there's a mean question, like a mean message there, like someone saying, screw Fortnite kids or whatever. Why say that? Why say that? What's the point in saying that? Just leave, like, if someone likes something you don't like, leave them to their devices. You know, it's no burden on you, is it? I mean, I'm not a fan of Fortnite, but I'm not going to go around being like, ah, Fortnite sucks or something. Like, jeez, I mean, what really matters is if you like it and you're having a good time playing it, that's good. Good for you. You found the thing that you like. Joel Kip says, I feel like this bit will be on Asuma Talks. Maybe. I don't even know what the point of what I'm saying is at the moment, you know. I'm just riffing with you. We Kata has resubscribed. Thank you ever so much for your resubscription. I appreciate it. What's the point of saying such things for someone for just liking a game? Exactly. It's this whole putting like emotional investment into stuff. See it time and time again. Just attaching like your emotional value to objects. You know, attaching them to experiences to me makes sense and to things that you care about. But like holding on to hatred for a game, what a waste of energy. You can do something better with that. You know, you can do something better than being angry and upset at some kids that play some computer game. And I know all the arguments, oh, but Fortnite's so cringy or whatever. People have said that about Minecraft, people have said it about everything. People have said it about me. I read my comments, sometimes they're like, oh, this is so cringy. And I'm like, You're the one cringing. Like, I got no problem with what's going on. Awkward silence is a big one, right? Don't be so afraid of a little bit of silence. I mean, conversations don't have to just be a continual motor mouth. And like when that happens in a YouTube video, I see some people that are like, oh, so awkward. And it's like, it might have been awkward for you, but I was fine. You know? Don't worry about it. Don't you even worry about it. No, awkward silence is the death of me, says Escape Penguin. Yeah, but when two other people are engaging in silence, like, if that's a problem for you, like, what I'm saying is, that's your burden. Now, it's always an external comment. It's always like, people are like, oh, this is so cringy, this is so awkward silence, oh. Hey, you're not engaging in it, don't worry about it. I guess if you're, like, I'm literally talking about people who comment about this stuff, right? Because I read my comments. It's just like, that's not the way how I, like, experienced it. So, like, why would you worry? You know, I watch a lot of podcasts and conversational videos or whatever, and in the back of my mind now, I do wonder quite much, like, who would look at this and think this is cringy at all? And I kind of, like, try and keep an eye out for it, because normally I don't. Normally I just watch it and I'm like, you know, whatever happens, like, it doesn't really matter if this is a little bit, air quotes, cringy or whatever. Like, not every social interaction is smooth. Not every social interaction is, you know, going to be a great one. You'll meet some people you get on with really well, and other people you struggle a little bit, but that's fine. That's just being human. And so when I see these, these comments, then it makes me think about other things that I'm watching. I'm like, oh, is this a little bit of that, like, social awkwardness people are like getting ummy and ahry about? Because I'll watch a podcast and I'll be, that was great, and then I'll go to the comments, what did other people think about this? And there's loads of comments like, oh god, this was so cringy, and I'm like, oh, I didn't notice any of that. I was just enjoying the conversation. Anyway, what a waffle, what a going off on one that was, eh? So abstract as well. I haven't got any, like, particular examples for you, but maybe some of you know what I mean. Maybe some of you will know. Escape Penguin says, you figured it out. I'm the most socially awkward person alive. Well, yeah, just be you. And don't worry about it. Like, I mean, I know it's never helpful for someone to go, don't worry about it. But, like, seriously, if you have a socially awkward encounter with someone, like, what is the worst that comes of that? You don't die, you don't blow up, you know, you tend to feel a bit bad, but that's, in a way, that's, like, your feelings are, to some extent, for you to manage and learn to get along with. You can be socially awkward, just make sure you're being yourself more than anything. You know, and hey, if I have an interaction with someone and it's a bit awkward, it ain't the end of the world, it ain't the, like, it's not a big deal. It's like, we're just humans, you know, trying to figure it out. Technical aspects says, feelings are meaningless, I think. I wouldn't say they're meaningless, we have them for a reason. They're part of who we are and what we are. I think it's just being intelligent enough to realise that and do something productive with it. I'm kind of clearing out more space than we essentially need to at this very point in time. So I think now what we'll focus on is doing some building on the inside. I kind of know what we've got to go with in this area. Let's just fill up the junk chest over here with more junk. Also, there's a lot of people replying to what I'm saying, so I'm trying to pick up on some of that. So those of you asking me Minecraft questions, I mean, there's a time and a place, okay? Clearly, this is not the time and the place. We're playing Minecraft right now. It's not the time to ask those sort of questions. No, I'm messing with you. But hey, once I get into a zone and I start waffling, I want to have a conversation with all of you. And this conversation ain't about Minecraft right now. We're just playing that game. Alright, this is just where it's happening. So let's grab our stone slabs, our andesite. We're going to place a lot of that. And then we're going to place some other blocks around here as well. I probably need to think this through a little bit. What is your... Oh wait, that was not a question. That was a Minecraft question. Come on. Come on, guys. I know you've got non-Minecraft questions in you today, alright? I know you don't really want to know about Sahara. I know there's more important things on your mind you want to talk about. I need to make a lot of white concrete. And I need to make some dark colours around here as well, I think. Now I could go with black wool around the bottom. Let's go grab our terracotta chest. Whoopsie! Flower got in the way. Stupid flower. Oh. Talk about space or music. I could listen to you talk all day. What is the meaning of life? ASMR motivates me with digging sounds? What are your thoughts on nihilism? Oh goodness me. We could talk about nihilism. I like social awkwardness. It's satisfying to make people awkward. Now that's just mean right there, but I like it. Any books you're reading? What countries have you visited? So many topics we could talk about. Lots of questions. What was the one that piqued my interest just a second ago? Nihilism. Yeah. A nihilistic output on life, like meaninglessness. And yeah, and that propensity to think that things have no meaning. I think, what was the Kutzkegart thing? Optimistic nihilism or something. I think I'm an optimistic nihilist. I could be getting that completely wrong. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was inherently no meaning in anything. It almost seems like, when you look at how big and vast the universe is, it almost could be entirely meaningless. Actually, is this the right... Brown is not the right colour to use here. I think we might just have to use black concrete. I'm trying to avoid using that. Let's actually go change that back. Great decision, just crafted loads of it and then I'm like, nope. Optimistic nihilism. Maybe the void is fun. You have to find your own meaning, says Stefan. Yeah, I think that was the idea of their video, is that you can embrace meaninglessness and find your own meaning. I like that very much. Because I don't, like, meaning just doesn't seem... I look at the universe and the world and life, like, for a very scientific lens, as in science very much is the way in which I'd like to have things explained to me. Science doesn't really go for meaning. It's like, oh, 1 + 1 = 2. But then you go, well, why does it equal 2? Well, we don't know. You know? Oh, that's the colour we need in here. So yeah, I like to give my own meaning to things and search for my own meaning. Same for morality as well. Like, I feel like the same of morality. There isn't any inherent, but clearly it's like a function of being a human to have morality, and there are like reasons why it works, and it helps us as a society, and so you should embrace that. But I don't like the idea of it just being handed down from some arbitrary force that you had no say or conversation with. We got noises in the ear from Gatsby F05, subscribed with Amazon Prime. Twitch Kangaroo is here, resubscribed for 2 months, saying, what time is it where you're in Washington DC? It is 6:49. It is 11:57 here, which means that was 9 minutes ago. And that means I'm late on the noises in the ear. Goodness me. I Live Cats is here, resubscribed for 38 months in a row, saying, Anita is in a trip over in Asia, so I'm resubbing on my own today. And I'm onto you. You're just trying to get more videos on Asuma Waffles. Sneaky. I don't mind. I love those videos. I mean, I'm not trying to get more videos on there. Today, I'm very much just talking off the cuff of my mind. The other day, though, I made some notes about things that were on my mind that I wanted to talk about. I mean, it'll be in the back of my mind that some stuff gets exported over there now, but I've always enjoyed talking about this stuff, right? It's not like I've started doing something new for that channel. This is just going, hey, I always do this thing, so like, why don't we put it over there? And that's precisely what we've been doing. X, I'm always messing with you. It's not new, it's just usual old you, says Cats. Cats, why are you always messing with me, man? Jeez, can't believe it. The cheek. The cheek of this guy. Let's go sleep in bed. That'll be a good idea. Have you talked about Area 51 yet, says JC. Yeah, we have. I'm just thankful that, you know, nothing crazy happened and no one got hurt. Only a small amount of people turned up, and that's all good if you ask me. Because seriously, something crazy could have happened if a big crowd turned up, you know. What's the thing that just popped into my head called? Waco, Texas. There was like a cult, and then there was a dispute between this cult and the American Federals. And so the Federal, I don't know what organization went in, and basically ended up massacring this cult. Now, some people will probably use the fact that it was a cult as some sort of excuse. I mean, it was a loss of life. I don't like that this is 4 wide. I'm going to make it, and it also should probably be in line. You should probably end up making a grid for this right here, so I'm going to leave the rest of that alone for now. So yeah, I was worried that something like that would happen again, you know, loads of people, like a big crowd of people getting shot into by the government. That would have been awful. So I'm so glad that everything's alright. And it was just for the memes. And it's probably, something like that's probably not going to happen again now because it's failed. Which is another good thing. Like, I don't know. To me, the whole, like, is there aliens there? And can we see them? Is like the least of my concerns. Because it's a military base, they have big weapons, and a crowd of people charging it? Oh, that just sounds so awful. You know, it just sounds like people are going to get hurt. Not worth it. Is it worth a bunch of people getting killed so that we can go, oh yeah, look, there's aliens? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What do I want? Concrete over here? I think I've got a chest back at my base full of white concrete, by the way. So I kind of want to make a roof for this whole area now, since we're doing the floor. That means grinding out a lot of concrete. I think I know the best way to do this, probably, is to make a little water patch. And just grind it out. Okay, we're going to need more from here, sand and also gravel. Big time, we're going to need lots and lots of this material. I've got a noise in the ear from JellyB14 saying a topic for you, vegans and bioindustry. What's your opinion? What is my opinion on veganism and bioindustry? Oh my goodness me. Well, I would say this is like a really incredible topic, and I could say a lot on it, so I will. Yeah, let's go off on this direction then. So I had been briefly vegan after being vegetarian for many years. I also weightlifted as a vegetarian, and also being completely like out of the loop on like proper sports science info, and I was able to put on gains without deliberately eating a lot of protein, which does make me wonder. However, I've seen the effects of then you know, being very conscious of how much protein you eat, eating a lot, and then watching the gains come on quicker. But that's just a little comment for anyone who happens to be interested in this stuff and also does weightlifting. To me, it feels like, from my personal experience, the whole protein thing when it comes to going vegetarian and vegan is probably a little bit overinflated, in my experience. But anyway, as I was going vegan, it was because I was learning more and more about food and diet. There we go, that one's what I want. I was learning more and more about food and diet and becoming more and more conscious of what I was eating. But I was getting my information from what is essentially vegan propaganda, which sort of sounds a bit mean. I don't mean it in a mean way, it's just sort of what it ends up being, because unfortunately a lot of the information you get from those food documentaries is biased, and although there's bits of truth in there, there are some issues with some of the things that they're saying. So there is research suggesting, why is there a skeleton in there? Suggesting that eating a lot of animal products is unhealthy, but you can also find research opinions from doctors and scientists that are saying, no, you do need some of this. So it's very sketchy, and of all the research I've done over the years, I've found some pretty like good and conclusive government-backed scientific studies, meta-analysis of many studies that basically says if you're a vegetarian, you're pretty much going to be fine if you're eating healthy. You know, it applies to anyone eating healthy. We're talking about getting your fresh fruit and veg in and avoiding processed food. You're going to be fine, and that seems to be very much true. I'm going to put this white concrete up here once it's made. So yeah, vegetarian, fine. Now going vegan, again, I think you can be relatively healthy, but if you eat a lot of processed packaged food and you don't have a very diverse or nutritious diet, going vegan would be quite risky, I think. I think you'd really, run into some problems. Maybe problems that don't ever really present themselves, but internally in your body there seems to be a lot of information out there that would suggest that it's possibly not the best of ideas. If you are super duper healthy vegan, eating all your fresh fruit and veg, you will still become deficient in certain vitamins that you can only get from animal products. And that seems to be pretty factual from where I've dug around. Now, I think when it comes to the ethical side of a reason to go vegan or vegetarian, I'm all for it. I think it's great. I really do. I think the way that animals are treated inside of factories is basically genocide, is the way I look at it. It's literal torture and genocide. You can't get away from it. And I eat meat. The meat that I eat, I get local farm raised meat. That's the only time I eat. Actually, it's not true. That's when I eat meat, when I buy it for myself to cook at home. When I go out to a restaurant, chances are the meat might come from a factory. But yes, I've been doing a lot more eating out lately, and I find myself, to keep up with my protein goals, I end up just having a meal with meat in to know I sort of hit it. Wish I had a better strategy for that. Maybe I should just bring my supplements with me or something. But anyway. I mean, if we're being pedantic, genocide can only refer to people, says Novahawk. If you want it to only refer to people, then let's make a new word for animal genocide, alright? Genocide. We're committing genocide. The reason I say that is because it's literally the same atrocity. And if you go and look at the factory farming, there's so much information now about it. Documentaries you can watch, activists going in and filming what happens inside. If you expose yourself to some of those conditions, you're going to have a reaction, because many of us are empathetic, and not just to other people, but to all things that live and suffer and feel pain. And animals, we know, feel pain, and it's just disgusting what's happening to them. And we need to address it, and that's why I'm really excited for some of these fake meat things that are coming out, I've had corn and stuff like that, and it's great, except it tries to sell itself as a meat supplement, a meat replacement. Corn tries to emulate meat. What am I trying to say here? If you go out and eat vegetarian cuisine and dishes, it can be great. It can be really good food. In fact, since going vegetarian, I've learned so many more interesting dishes that you can prepare, and the best part of a meal for me is probably not the meat. That's what I'll say. In most meals that I eat, the meat doesn't even make up what the meal is. It's just in there. It's just a bit of meat in there. So a lot of my favourite foods don't really have much of a relation to meat other than it being in there. Like chicken enchiladas, I love that, but you can make them with beans and they're just as tasty. It's all the taste is actually kind of coming from the non-meat bit. Noxious is blocked, says I'm eating meat right now, Asuma. I had a little bit of meat this morning. I had some sushi. I do eat meat, but I'm very aware of the whole thing. So another thing with this whole propaganda though that I have a problem with is when you're getting this information, it's so biased, and sometimes they want things to push you in the direction of don't eat meat so much that they kind of obscure some really good ideas. I remember one of them about being indoctrinated, I think was the language that they used. Being indoctrinated to looking at animals in particular ways, and they sort of dissected how you would look at a dog. When you eat meat, you don't look at your pet dog and think, I'm eating you. You've kind of got these mental barriers in your mind. And I think it's absolutely true, but like some of the way they talked about it in these documentaries really go like above and beyond and over the top. I think sometimes you just have to say it how it is and make sure people understand the gravity of that. So like as a child growing up, like you learn about pigs and cows as like cuddly little toys, and yet you're also eating them. And so it's a really weird distinction, because when you do have an animal that's in your life, which for most people is a cat or a dog, the thought of eating them would like terrify you. And I think that it's a fair point to point out that's the same with cows and pigs. They're animals too. Why do dogs get a different classification? In some parts of the world, dogs get eaten, you know, because cultures are different. And that was veganism and animals and bio-industry. So yeah, some of these other like, again, what I constantly like think you should do when you have an argument or a point to make is try and be like level and objective, because these things can tend to get like over exaggerated, and then they're technically dishonest, and I think it's bad to have a good argument that's dishonest. So like there's a lot of talk about how farming of animals contributes to global warming. Really simple equation to understand it is just to think that you as a living creature require space, you require land, you need food and water fed to you, and you go through a lot of food and water. Now, when you eat another animal, you're going through another creature that has been through that cycle. So imagine a meal made out of plants. The plants grow, you harvest them, you eat them. Whereas to eat an animal, it's the plants grow, they feed the animal over and over and over again until eventually the animal's fed enough and old enough for you to then go and eat. You can clearly see how much more resources go into meat than into plants. So there's a lot of talk about how eating stuff like what's Alpro made out of? Soybeans is a big one. Like a lot of vegetarian and vegan foods are made out of soy, but they're actually part of the same problem. Like we're chopping down the Amazon forest at an alarming rate to also farm soy. And another thing about being vegan that's, yeah, I hear it framed in like a hypocritical way, but I don't think it's hypocritical. It's just something you wouldn't have thought of that turns out to be true. You know, you might be eating crops to you know, therefore not hurt animals, or whatever your reason for going vegan is. Maybe you think it's for health. But like the crops use pesticides, and the fields that they're grown in have to be looked after, and loads of little, you know, other parts of the food chain, animals and rodents that try to feed themselves, they get killed in the soy fields, you know? So like, I think we have to have a better appreciation of the circle of life, and that, you know, one animal eating another is part of nature and it's natural. And so if you try and avoid it entirely, it's not really that avoidable because it's everywhere. And I don't think that means it's hypocritical to be like, oh, I'm a vegan, but I eat plants from a field where, you know, rabbits were shot to stop them eating the crops, or whatever. You get the point. It's not hypocritical, it's just something that's not part of the conversation that I think should be. Like, get all the facts in line so that no one can then try and use it against you. Just eat Rambob veggies. I've heard that of everyone started eating oh, well, that one went off the top of the screen. To be fair, the only way to avoid that would be to grow your own food and raise chickens or something, says Zubax. So if you grow your own foods, you know, and raise chickens, right, you've got to protect the chickens from predators. Like, I don't know if foxes go after chickens, but then you're going to have to, you know, whatever crops it is you're growing, whatever animals it is you're looking after and raising, something is going to come and eat them because they are food, right? I mean, living things are food for other living things. That's just a fact of reality right there. Lol, yes, foxes are their main predator, says Badger. I thought so. You know, I've heard 101 stories about people having chickens and foxes coming after them. I saw a fox the other day, actually. It was quite majestic. They tend, as soon as you see them, they tend to disagree quickly. So looking at chat, some people agree. Most people are asking questions. Pesticides are really bad as well. We had bees in our yard, but they died because of an apple orchard near us. Oh, interesting. The whole GMOs, pesticide stuff, like, there's another, like, field of conversation that when you go looking into it, boy oh boy, can you just find opinions left, right, and centre that seem to just contradict one each other. And this is the thing, there's all this research, there's all these people with the answers, and yet whatever answer you want to have, you'll find something online that will back it up. It's so tricky to get your head around some of these topics, and GMOs seems to be a big one for that, and pesticides as well. I think it's really obvious to see some of the advantages of pesticides, but not so much like feeling the dangers of them, because the problems they create tend to be localized and not felt globally, if that makes sense. But hey, it's, you know, it's us people meddling with everything. Of course we're going to make mistakes and find out, oh, that thing we started doing, you know, oh, that's actually got a downside. You know, we've done that so many times in history. Smoking, got that completely wrong, didn't we? Vaping, after I did a vaping video on my second channel, loads of people sent me links, emails to statistical, like government research or whatever on vaping linked to cancer and all kinds of lung diseases. Sounds like vaping is potentially, you know, less bad than cigarettes, but maybe by not that much. It's pretty bad to vape, it would seem. And, you know, I was already of that opinion, but I got sent like quite a lot of well-researched stuff to back that up, I guess. But yeah, we've done it time and time again. We did it with smoking. We used to do it with lead. Lead used to be in loads of stuff. It used to be in paint. It used to be in petrol, and then we had to get rid of it. And there's probably other examples that just aren't coming to mind where we meddle with our environment, and then later on we find out, oh, you know, we've got that entirely wrong, haven't we? Lead was in kids' toys, says Golden Shooter. Yes. Asbestos, another one. Great example. So who's to say this latest thing that we're doing, we don't then further down the line find out, oh, actually we're doing something wrong there. I mean, the thing with nature is that nature is its own equilibrium and balance, but it's not a balance that serves anyone. It's just a balance, and it changes constantly. So then when we come and meddle with nature's balancing, we have the potential to really throw it out of shape, you know? Asbestos was found in Claire's eye makeup. Goodness me. Coal, says Banana. Yeah, coal miners. I mean, I think coal miners probably knew it was terrible for them at the time. They used to get soot all over their skin and in their lungs and have problem with breathing that led to all sorts of diseases, and we had to stop that. But hey, it's all heading in a good direction. Because I think if you think about how rampant disease was at one point, you know, how susceptible we were to death. A lot of infant mortality rates were very... Would it be high or low? I think it'd be high mortality. I'm not sure what way around you'd word that. But yeah, they were very high at one point in time, and then things came along that improved our living conditions, and you know, slowly we're getting things better and better, but we're also making tons of mistakes along the way, you know. I think overall we're heading in a positive direction though. How do you get a stack of concrete into your hotbar without going to your inventory? Oh, you just middle click. There's a middle click button. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day where someone would ask me how I did that, because I am notorious for never remembering how to do it. But apparently today I've remembered, so I'm happy and pleased with that. At least now we learn from our mistakes, says Atomic Craze. Oh, we do, but we must always be vigilant, because we will always continue to make more mistakes. That seems to be a truth. Like, that's where we need some... As again, this is just the point I was making a moment ago, was like, if you've got a point to make, do it with like the most, I don't know, truest or honest of arguments. Like, don't try and sway things in your favor to suit your agenda. Use what's actually there. Otherwise your arguments can be used against you, you know. I'm not sure if this is good enough. Do I need to put in extra torches in this grid? Right, let's catch up on those noises in the ear because I've been waffling for ages. So we had Joe, 32 Borry, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Doganator, 1105, subscribing. Simon, 1233, subscribed. And Little Joe, 27, for 18 months as 2 Twitch babies. Thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. Enzo Bengu says, cocaine was in Coca-Cola. Yes, it once was. Yes, it once was. Invite Dan, please, says IJ Dane. Of all the invites, I've never had just a one name. Like, who is Dan? I'll probably know which Dan you mean, but... Invite Bob! Invite Bob to Hermitcraft! Invite my neighbour! Keyboard says, what do you think about coal miners not wanting to lose their jobs? Oh, right, okay. Again, I think this goes right back to what I was just saying a second ago, is that I think we all understand, and even a coal miner would probably admit it, as much as they probably wouldn't want to, that we need to move on from coal and get on renewable energy resources. Okay, if you're going to deny climate change and say it doesn't have, coal's fine, coal's clean or whatever, then this conversation clearly ain't for you. But, like, yes, I would want to get us off coal, and yeah, it would be bad for coal miners to lose their job, but, like, the honest argument is to point out that we both want to move on from coal and take care of those people who serve society through doing that particular job, right? That's the bit where these things always seem to fall down. Whenever you hear conversations about it, it's like people are headlocked in this idea of like us versus them. Whereas what we should be fighting for is for, to move on from coal and protect those people that are in an industry that's now getting shut down, right? Well, I just got asked an opinion. I tried to read the whole of that message. What was my opinion on someone who's vegetarian all week and then eats meat on weekends? Do you wanna chuck that message in again and I'll try and catch it? But coal miners can't find jobs because they're not qualified, and windmills and such are often expensive and unreliable. Right, and that means we need a change in society where we realise if we're going to just cut people out of the equation, then we need to take care of them, because we're all in this together economically. We're all a society moving together forward in a direction, and it's unfair, I think, to just cut people out of the loop. If you sign up for a specific job or industry, like, you are contributing to society through what that industry, like, its role facilitates. So we needed the energy from coal at one point in time to get from there to here. And so we should be taking care of those people who have contributed to society in that way. Re-education could be difficult. It might not be what everyone wants to do, but surely we can find ways. Usually it comes down to profit margins and, that type of thing stopping workers getting taken care of. That's when it becomes about the individual again, when it's convenient for it to be about the individual. This view ignores real political facts, to be honest, says JZ TV. Well, share those political facts with me and I'll be happy to hear what you say. Because a lot of the time it's like, oh, but that's not how things work. And it's kind of like, yeah, so we should change how they work, right? That's how I think about it. Okay, we've got a noise in the ear. Got quite a few, actually, all at once. I Love Cats here with Cheers and Bits saying, did you hear about the global climate strike happening right now? People have been talking about Area 51 stuff without even noticing it. I've noticed talk about global climate strike, and I personally support that stuff in some way, but I'm a bit more of an observer to what happens. Like, I'm not sure if I should, I don't really know a lot, like who's organising it, what are they standing for. I just get the gist of the general movement. So I'm along with the gist, maybe not so much the specifics because I don't know them. But what is alarming to me is that some of this climate strike stuff that's happening, that I've seen and read about, isn't like, people aren't relating to their direct circumstance. It's not like I've lost my job in an unfair way or my job's in threat, we're going on strike. It's literally like people are so alarmed by the prospect of what's happening through global warming that they, disrupt their own lives to go and protest this stuff. And I think that's crazy. Like, that's a really that's a really important sign right there, that it's not even like a direct relationship to anymore. People are far more aware of like the bigger relationship to, let's say, what's going on globally or in the planet or with our weather. I just find it so alarming. I remember seeing this like article about a protester who had glued their hands to a train to stop it from running. And I was like, that is some serious commitment right there. Like, these people are really mean it and are really that worried, and like, we need to do something now about it. I find that crazy. Not crazy and like they're crazy, just maybe they're right. Maybe we all need to be doing that, you know? Maybe it's that serious that we need to drop what we're doing and go after it. But what did I come back here for? Oh yeah, let's make some black concrete now. My history teacher said the only thing we learned from history is that we learned nothing at all. Thoughts? I honestly think it's kind of right, but kind of not. It's a weird concept. Cookie friend, I always go to this point about absolutism. Whenever you come up with some clever absolute statement about something, it's probably pretty clever to pick it apart, right? Like, there probably are times where we've not learned anything from history, and there are probably plenty of times when we have. The fact that we banned smoking, well, you know, not fully banned, is it? But you know what I mean? Like, we've shifted how we treat smoking. We've shifted what products we put asbestos and lead into. You know, like, clearly we've learned from history in that respect. So I think there's, you know, a lot of interpretation, and pretty much it could go either way for many different things. Like, there's probably times when we haven't, and there's probably times when we had. Wrapping it up into a little statement like that is just, it's always going to have a flaw, I think. Right, the Shah Master is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Neil Orr and Vanilla Caramel subscribed as well. Thank you so much for your subscriptions and support. I appreciate it. We got Peter Durst 72 here with a donation saying, wanted to thank you for the amazing job that you'll do at Hermitcraft. It's a true entertainment, like watching a TV series. But even better, can't appreciate enough your ability to roleplay. Is it always easy for you? I find it funny that you say that, dude, because I'm like not much of a role player in my eyes. I mean, I do step into a little bit of a character, I guess, when we're with other people on the server, right? But in my mind, it's everyone else is doing the role playing, and I'm just not really. I don't know. Like, I do a little bit, don't I? I dabble in a little bit of the storylines. I generally like to point them out to others in my video. I like to let other people what's going on the server, right? Like, I'll do a little something over at area 77. I've done a couple of little bits, but I'm not really like one of the key role players, if you like, and that's because I'm actually like not that comfortable with the role playing stuff. But I mean, you see, the thing is, you have a different perspective to what I do of my own content, so maybe the times that I do it well, and it makes me look like I'm one of the role players. But I definitely feel like role playing is sort of like out of my comfort zone, so to speak, right? Not everyone. I like Rendog with the master of role-playing, says I Live Cats. Yeah, Ren has proven himself to just be... It's so cool to see it happen on Ren's channel, because it's just like very quickly over the space of a couple of months, you can see something's changed in him, and he's found something, and it totally works. And watching his like episodes now are just like mini epic sagas of awesomeness, and it's hugely inspiring. The last week I've pumped out very old school types of episodes where it's just me doing stuff in Minecraft, and it really made me think, like, okay, so I've had a bit of a crunch time with a holiday coming up, but when I want to come back from this holiday, I think I would like to take the Rendog approach maybe and go down to just no more than 2 episodes a week, and just put 3 days of effort into each one, as opposed to like 2 or 1 days, depending on when I want my next episode to come out. I really kind of want to make a pivot there, you know, but I need to know what I'm going to do. It's all fair and well saying that, but then you've also got to put that plan into action and know what you're doing. So we're going to need lights, and I think we could just sort of hang them like that, but I kind of want to get them in a grid where they make sense. I think we should start our grid from the corner of the room, and we should use a material to differentiate. Now, I think white wool might actually be the best material to go with. We've still got that recipe. because it will just differentiate the texture a little bit. Let's take these down then. How many fingers do you use when typing, says Rockdo? I tend to use 4. When I was a kid, I had a computer game that was supposed to teach you how to type, but I just always got lazy and reverted to doing it the way I knew, so I never really learned any of those like fast typing methods. Let's have a little count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's put a marker in then. Where's 11? So somewhere around there-ish. 1, 2, space, 1, 2. So we could do that, and that would be quite heavy on the lights, I think. Quite... Oh, do you know what? Leaving them open like that is pretty cool. I mean, you're going to walk around at this angle, right? So when you look up, you are going to see a plop of whatever texture that is. Now, what I could do is use string and carpet and then put the lights around the top. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's go try that. String carpet. Yeah, and that'll let the light through. Huh. Oh, this could end up being rather something. I really wish pistons still let light through. They changed quite a few blocks and stopped the light coming through. Okay, let's give this one a shot. So we might not be throwing lanterns in the mix, which is fine. Which is fine. Use sea lanterns instead of lanterns. Well, it's the texture. The texture's going to really, like, that little bit of green or cyan or whatever you want to call it, it's really going to catch your eye. So if we do this, and then put the carpet on top, and then put our light source on top of the carpet, which I didn't bring with me, by the way. I didn't bring any sea lanterns, did I? Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't. Thoughts on nuclear power, says Laurie. Not a crazy amount. I listen to lots of podcasts, as you hear me say over and over again. One thing I keep hearing a few different people say is that nuclear energy, like, may have been the bridge to the even better form of energy that we figure out further down the line, right? Like, is it cold fission or something, making infinite energy out of water? Or anyway, the point I keep hearing, like, these smart people make over and over again is that by us changing our public opinion on nuclear energy, we have stifled its innovation, and today it could be way more safer if we had not stopped working on it. And that's kind of sounds good, but then you've got to remember how horrific the consequences of getting it wrong are, which explain why the public opinion would have shifted on it so drastically. Not only that, a lot of these like nuclear energies are in the hands of private companies, and what private companies do is they cut corners to, you know, to make profit. Basically, they look at the operation of something and figure out where to cut corners. And I heard this story that there's a nuclear power plant here in the UK, and they have these laws. The company set up these like internal laws on how to run this nuclear reactor, and one of the things is that maintaining a reactor is very expensive, and they have these rules about when cracks start to appear in a certain part of the whole setup, that you have to replace them, and it's incredibly expensive. So when those cracks started to appear, rather than spend the money to fix them, they changed the laws to say, oh, they can actually be bigger, these cracks. And so they saved money by doing that. And that's what really concerns me with nuclear power, is that in the hands of like private companies, the expensive nature of the business means that cutting corners will save you so much money, and cutting corners will increase the risk. This looks fantastic. I like it ever so much. Really good. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with right there. I don't know if it provides enough light for this room, but yeah, the problem with nuclear power in the modern age is that it doesn't do safety, but rather getting rid of waste. We will run out of space to put it eventually. I'm not so sure about that. I think our energy needs and the amount of waste you get from nuclear energy, yes, it does create very volatile material that needs to be properly sealed and looked after for thousands of years before it becomes safe again. But I believe in terms of like running out of space to put it, not really. You don't want to have a lot of that waste around, but I don't think it produces enough to like make large areas unsustainable or anything like that. Anyway, what I personally think is like, hey, I've heard this person's opinion on it, I've heard that person's opinion on it. I kind of lean towards the side of, yeah, maybe if we had continued researching and developing nuclear energy and we had handled it very safely and had not had some of the disasters we've seen, then it might really have been a great solution moving forward till we find the next thing. But I'm not terribly educated. I've just listened to other people talk about it, right? What about Chernobyl, says Itzy. That's precisely like the point, is that happened, and that's one of the reasons the shift of moving away from it kind of happened, because the disasters right like that. And I think it's a bit unfair to say that, oh, that's like a learning step, right? But that's sort of half the point I'm making, right? Is that maybe if we continued, you know, learning from those mistakes, that might have never happened again, and it might be a really good sort of clean energy resource, right? Nuclear waste is only really dangerous for about 5 to 10 years. After that, it's just like normal household waste. We've got plenty of that. Dashing Elegance, don't know where you heard that from, but that sounds like complete nonsense, to be honest. Not 5 to 10 years, hundreds if not thousands of years for radioactive waste to be non-radioactive again. Go look up the side effects of radioactive waste. And, you know, like what happened at Chernobyl. What radiation does to the body is unbelievable. Radical particles, I believe they're called. Just tears everything apart. And if you haven't seen the TV series Chernobyl, that is an epic, really fantastic show. Totally worth watching. And a lot of the scenes and a lot of what you'll see visually is quite shot for shot, and it's not entirely historically accurate. There is a character in it that is actually like an amalgamation of many other people, like rolled into one for the sake of the TV show. But, you know, historical accuracy or not, the show's incredible. And I thought I knew a lot about Chernobyl before I watched it, but I guess I'd never, like, watched or read the right things about it, because I wasn't aware that they filmed it all. So after I watched that and became aware, because when you get to the end of the series, they show you clips of the actual footage from Chernobyl, and I was just like, this exists? I did not know this exists. I mean, of course it did. It was the 80s, but like, how have I not seen this stuff before? I thought I knew all about Chernobyl. So I went online and I was like, oh my god, some of this stuff is literally shot for shot. It's incredible. Totally great show. You should go watch Chernobyl if you have access to it. All right, that was a waffle, wasn't it? What's your favourite Genesis album, says Rock Do. My favourite Genesis album, I would say, is And Then There Were Free. Yeah, probably And Then There Were Free. Like, whenever it comes to the other albums in the Genesis discography, there's always like great songs everywhere and sounds that you really like, but I think that's the one album that, like, cohesively front to back really does it for me. Right, let's catch up with these noises in the ear. We got George Letty here with a donation saying, hey Asuma, how does Cubfan record to discs? Is it just dubbing over the disc on Grian's part, or do you have a data pack for that? Also, how did you do the dock thing? Did you just cut when you went through the fly and fly it with your elytra? I'm not going to answer either of your questions, okay? I'm so sorry, George, but use your noggin here for the second one. First one, I will say I have no idea what you're talking about, unfortunately. I don't know what Cubfan recording to discs is. Maybe you did something with music discs playing different songs. You can do that with a resource pack, I believe. As for the second one, I will not reveal the secrets of my trade, but wink wink nudge nudge, if you know what I mean. George, thank you so much. George also subscribing. Appreciate it, dude. We got Sir Wizalot resubscribing for 3 months. Special Shronk has subscribed. Haley Says Shy is here for 2 months, saying being more eco-conscious It's better for the environment overall. Perhaps don't leave the kitchen light on overhead or leave your charger plugged into the wall. There are so many little things one can change to better the world. You've given me a great idea. Okay, so where I've been working with Adam on these Asuma Says videos, I've now started to think about how I could take notes from a stream and then make it into a better production video. This is a really good idea. What did you call it? Eco-conscious. How to be more eco-conscious could be a really cool video idea. If I just prepped all of the things, like tips like that, like don't leave the kitchen light on, don't leave your computer on overnight, try to use less water when you're at the sink brushing your teeth, take shorter showers, all of those types of tips. Now I was also thinking, if I sign up for one of those sites that gives you access to stock footage, perhaps, I mean, Adam might be listening to this later, so this is me communicating to you. But we could take footage from one of those stock sites to just fill in the gaps between all the talking. And then we could put together some pretty cohesive videos that are based off of what we talk about here, but it gives me that room to go and actually properly figure it out. And, you know, because a lot of this is just me waffling and going, do, ooh, hoo, I think, maybe, possibly, because, right, just get straight to the point. This is what you should do, la 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 la, put it all into one video. I've got a feeling the light levels down here are not good enough, but only by one. Only by one. Ah, that's kind of disappointing. You want 8. Is it 7 and above or 8? Man, always getting that messed up. So if the sea lantern were 1 block lower, then it would be perfect down here. 7 and above, I think. I'm pretty sure they can spawn on 7. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we never tried it. It would have been better to have tried it already. Let's just put a couple rows at the back here with sea lanterns. Iron trapdoor. That's a great idea, Red Skimmer. That is, oh, genius. And I was thinking earlier, like, what block can you put in there that lets light through? And I thought of trapdoor. For some reason, I didn't think iron. I didn't think iron, did I? Do you think Mumbo should do storage wars again, says Enzo? I think he should, but I think he should put better prices in. One of the things that I think kind of sucks a little bit with Minecraft, maybe, well, it doesn't suck. It's not Minecraft's fault, but like a lack of unique items. It'd be really cool to have more control over item customization, like giving them colors and such, because then you could create some really unique and cool prizes. One of the problems I think we're facing at the moment when it comes to prizes is that we're in the end game, so everyone kind of already has a lot of really great end gear. So if you open up a chest with like a couple of elytras, it's like cool, but you know, I've had this elytra for forever and I don't need another one, you know? I think that's the way we're gonna go, right there. It does pop off being a little bit dark. I could also put it on the bottom side as well. Oh, I actually think the bottom's... Now, I really like the shape of that. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna keep it on the top side because I like the shapeliness of the opening. Even when you get there and it's a little bit darker, I still think it's kind of good. Right, so now we have to go around and rip out everything we've already done. And I want to pick up all these items because I don't like waste. Anyway, going back to that subscribe message you just had a moment ago. So yeah, I just think it'd be a great idea to take all the pointers from these streams that we waffle on about, stuff like being eco-conscious, and then get it into a good kind of like better production, like one-off type video. I would say SEO, just thinking of it from the business side, like the sort of video that isn't of the moment and is the kind of thing you can leave on YouTube and it grows, that type of content, right? Like something that people can come back to and share because it's got all of the information in it nice and concise. I would love to produce content like that. And I think that would be a really great start to try something like that. Because I can think of many tips and we could probably brainstorm them in a stream together as well. Badger says, still plus 2k viewers, 2,300 peeps watching. What are y'all doing? And you got anything better to do than watch this dirt waffle all day? Goodness me. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the follow button if you're enjoying the stream. And if you like all the waffling chat that I'm going on about, you can go subscribe to the Asuma Says channel, and there's loads of content like that over there. I say loads, there's about 7 videos so far. There'll be more in the future. You know, go subscribe. You might like what you get. We love to hear you waffle, says Lion Script. It would appear so, and I feel a little bit guilty about it sometimes, because I'm just going on and on. Just going on and on all the time. Oh. Gun Rover is here for 24 months. That's 2 years. And therefore, a diamond face in chat. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. We got Jab Channel for 5 months saying, hey X, hey Jab, welcome to the stream. We've got Wizzo501, subscribing with Amazon Prime. And Rat Ya Wins with a subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Waffles are good. I love waffles, says... Well, no, that's what Spuds the Potato said. And then I said I love waffles. When I get back from my holiday, I am having a plate of pancakes and natural yogurt. That is like my favourite treat. And do you know what? When it comes to treats, I find myself going off cakes and ice cream and... Actually, just a scoop of ice cream, really. I like ice lollies. I've recently learned how low in calories ice lollies were, depending on what one you get. And I was like, what? I thought these things were like 200 to 300, and they're like 70 calories. That's pretty alright. But yeah, like, I always, every now and then I would treat myself to a little box of cakes from the bakery, right? And I always would go for stuff like apple turnovers or cinnamon rolls. Try and avoid the stuff with tons of sugar. But they all got sugar in anyway. But since I've been fasting, I've just become really more comfortable with... And when I say since I've been properly fasting. I've done intermittent fasting in the past when I didn't understand it as well. Now that I really understand more about it, I'm finding that it makes me more, like, content with being hungry. Hungry doesn't feel like something I need to satisfy so much anymore. And when I go to the shops and, you know, I just find myself not being so drawn towards the sugary treats or whatever. Not that I eat a lot of them anyway, but I'm really finding myself just resisting them. And so now, like, a treat is a pancake to me, and, like, pancake don't have a crazy amount of sugar in it. Depends how you make it, of course. I make them with no added sugar, so they're, like, very plain. And then some natural yogurt on it. Oh, very nice. How do you get over the embarrassing grumblies? What are the grumblies? The embarrassing grumblies. What is that? We've got a noise in the ear from MK Zelda. MK Zelda, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate the support. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Well, look at that. We've got the top side of this area looking absolutely fancy schmancy now. I think we need some more white concrete, build up this wall, maybe put in some of the showcase room entrances, put them into place, figure out this grid, get some more black concrete again. Do all the stuff, basically. Peter Durst says, could you check the donations? Oh, I missed you. Did I? Oh, I did. And I believe I might have missed 2 other people then. So, Raven threw some cheers and bits. Raven, thank you ever so much for that. 20 minutes ago. So sorry for being late. Joshua Plays, subscribing at Amazon Prime as well. Thank you. Go see The Spy on Netflix, says Ron Peart. Yeah, I looked at that show and it really didn't appeal to me. I don't know why. It just... Something about it just really didn't draw me in. I kind of watched it thinking, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. I mean, maybe you've watched it and it's really fantastic. But yeah, that's just one that didn't catch my attention at all, really. I was going to start watching Unbelievable, but then I realised I'm going on holiday and I don't really like... Like, when I get into a show, I kind of like to... like watching it quite consistently. Like, if I get really into something, which apparently this show's really good and I might get really into it, I kind of like to watch it consistently, and that tends to be my focus until I've gotten like all the way through it. So I don't want to just start watching something and then go on holiday. Anyway, so Peter Durst 72 is here with another donation. So Peter, thank you so much. I'm so sorry for missing it. When I saw your name at the bottom of the list, I thought it was the one I'd read before. That's how far behind I fell on this. Terrible streamer, aren't I? You're correct here. You're not a full role-playing guy, but when you do, you're genuine. That's what I value in what you do. It's more obvious from a side perspective. We'll have to go now. Good luck and wish you a nice vacation. Thank you so much, dude. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like you kind of saw it the way I see it, so that's awesome. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. Right, let's scroll to the top of the list. We've got Akal AXG, subscribe with Amazon Prime, and Danal has subscribed with Amazon Prime as well. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate your Prime subscriptions. Do you hate auto jumps? Is real Slays Fight. You know, hating a feature would just be a waste of energy in my opinion. I don't hate auto jump. I don't use auto jump. You know? Idea is bad, Sahara is good, says Akas6668. But Sahara started with an idea. Ah, gotcha! Gotcha! You're trying to say Sahara is bad? Oh my goodness me, I can't believe it. The cheek, the nerve. Do I have gravel? I do, that's good, because if I put gravel here, we'll stop breaking that block as frequently. And that is good. Anonymous says, I thought Sahara started with a problem. Not that again. M. Tilgern says, I took a quick shower. Did I miss anything? Thank you for being eco-conscious and taking a short shower. Blah. Blah. Got that wrong. Will you ever use shaders, says Driggy. I was wondering if, like, I could find some very mild shaders to, like, shake up the look of the game a little bit. I think something mild might work, but I cannot get along with shaders. Like, I love Corrales in his videos, but I just tend to listen to them. I just can't look at the game with those kind of shaders on. It just doesn't work for me. I feel like I'm not looking at Minecraft anymore. We got a noise in the ear from Harmony ML. Subscribe with Amazon Prime. Harmony, thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Do you play Overwatch, says Gub. I don't really play any other games. I'm not really a gamer. You know, I just happen to be playing Minecraft, you know, for a living. It just somehow happened. I can't explain it. Okay, we'll chuck all of those in there. Now we're going to do some, I was going to say do some black concrete. We've already got like over a stack, so let's actually just crack on with the building then. Don't know how that happened. I mean, this may end up still being like a wall over here, so going to build that out a little bit more. Would that actually be white there or black? I don't know. I don't know what happens at that point. So in terms of this layout that we've got going on over here, probably make more sense to build the top up. Let's have a look. So you walk in here and there. Now, I think you're at equal distance to the corner. You are. So to me, the entrance should kind of like be in the middle of this. Would look good. Let's use that and that as a marker. So I believe that's the middle, therefore 1, 2, 3. So we have a 3x3 door here. That could be an entrance to a showcase room. And of course, it's got to be mirrored, so this is like the showcase room that has a double entrance. But, you know, the other reality is I've got to leave some of this stuff to B-Dubs and Corrales to figure out, like their layout. So just trying to get this main first corridor done, I think, is the idea here. I'm not going to pick some of those up, am I? I've got too much junk in my trunk right now. Gravel, there you go. Have some gravel. Gravel, gravel, gravel. Actually, you should invite Mumbo and Green to Idea because they're really good with small builds. But Mumbo and Green are like the rivals, right? Like, we've got Concorp, we've got Architects, and now we've got Idea. So, I don't know. Oh, right, by the way, everything down here will now be lit up, right? In theory. Pretty sure that's what it means. Also, I might use these spaces here with the black concrete to become like little stands. I don't know what it would be like. Maybe armor stands, right? And then a chest with armor stands for sale. Something like that is what I've been thinking of. Okay, so then again, we come over to the middle of this space, which is here. We go across and we open it up. 1, 2, 3, like that. We're close to those sheep, I can tell you that. Okay, then maybe if we just follow the same principle, we can kind of figure out the area of the next space. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Oops, I'm going to put that there for now. This might help us figure out what happens in this space. So 1, 2, 3. That would make this the middle of a 3 wide door like that. Pretty sweet, if you ask me. Oh, and I fell down. Terrible. Newbie. What am I doing? Another Han in chat says, "Hey X, a belated congrats on the 1 million subscribers. People always judged me for forcing a Asuma tattoo on my cat." That's got to be a little bit of humour right there. But who's laughing now? As always, thanks X. Got to be a little bit of humour right there. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Badger Spanner here doing the cheers, throwing the bits, saying just dropping some more bits so I can be above Catsy in the leaderboard for a bit. Don't mind me. Goodness me, some leaderboard competition going on over there. Thank you ever so much for the support, Badger. I appreciate it. George says, "Oi, Asuma, what are the server specs?" I can't tell you off the top of my head, but when we got this server, it was basically the best CPU for single-threaded performance at the time on the market, and it was overclocked as well, which is pretty cool. Right, so let's say that's the end of the path. That would give us this kind of shape to work with over here. So we need some more black concrete. We could also do with some slabbage like a cabbage. So this here is definitely going to change, I reckon. I reckon we'll just have black wall in this area. And all of that will work fine. So with this white concrete that's filling up my inventory, I need to just build up a bit more of this roofing. Oh, and I guess we could do a little calculation here as well. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 is the middle. So we go over here and we do that. So weird. X, do you like any comedians / comedy groups? I love comedy, but it's not like a massive thing that I'm into. I really do respect the art form though. And my favourite comedian is Ricky Gervais. And you know, I don't watch a crazy amount of comedy, but I really do like to tune in every now and then. The last comedy I watched that I really enjoyed was Bill Burr's new special, Paper Tiger. And I mean, I loved it. It was fantastic. But after I watched it, I really felt like I wanted to watch it again, and I haven't done that yet. And it's not often that I watch something and feel like I'm going to watch that again. And I really, really love that guy's sense of humour. It cracks me up. It's like that wild frustration and anger that he has. It's just so hilarious. A do your redstone shop by Mumbo would be a great idea. Oh, I plan on maybe adding a little redstone shop in here. I've got so many ideas for this area that I just got to get a bit focused and figure out a plan, which I'll probably do when I get back from my holiday. We'll come up with a plan for this whole thing. Speaking of which, if we try and stay on track, I need more sea lanterns, and I can probably put away the dye, and then I need some more of this stuff. That's going to leave me with some leftover iron, isn't it? Yeah. Let's get rid of you. There we are. Let's go put some more of these in place. Wrong way around, wrong way around. Come on now. Sort it out, X. What are you doing? Placing blocks in the wrong spot? What's wrong with you? X, do you like playing modded Minecraft? I'm super into Project Ozone 3 at the moment. Not really. I mean, I talk about it so often, right? Sort of in moments liking it, in others not. I struggle with it, I sure do, but it's always in the back of my mind. One day I'd love to like really get into a modded series again. Just have to see where things go. You know, maybe one day I'll play it again. Project Ozone was probably one of the best packs that I've played. But unfortunately our series as a group was kind of a bit short-lived, which is always what happens with modded. But hey, I may never really get around to that again. You see, when I talk about it, in my mind, what I'm thinking is like, when my channel dies, you know, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I've always been feeling like, this will run out in a moment, you know, this will be over before you know it. I always have this like, what would I do when the channel dies? Like, I'm kind of like picturing it like it's a sense of freedom. Now I'll just do whatever I want and forget quality, you know, like forget that. I'll just be doing whatever I feel like doing. And that's when I think like, oh, I'd love to do like a modded series. But I think the reality is I will probably find something else to move on to whenever this kind of current thing that we're doing runs out of. And I think I've started taking steps towards that with my new channel as well. So who knows, probably may never play modded again. Some peeps are mentioning Techtopia in chat. Yeah, that would have been a really great one to play. I would have loved to have played that paired with something like Quark. Is it called Quark? And maybe a few like inventory management mods and aesthetic mods thrown in there as well for good measure. But you know, when it came to play it, I really just couldn't pick anything else up. And generally, when I invest in my time in doing new stuff, it's really got nothing to do with anything new in Minecraft, it seems, you know. I think it'll be a long while before streaming dies. YouTube is only growing, says Loedic. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. It is still just in a growth stage, and it's just crazy to be doing this for this long, and kind of always in the back of my mind thinking this won't last, and yet, you know, soon be 2020, won't it? You know, soon be 2020. Can you believe that? Black concrete is what I needed to make next, actually. So let's go ahead and get on top of that. We'll make 2 stacks of the stuff, which is 1 more die than that. There we go. Hi, Asuma, this is the first live stream I'll be watching. This is a really cool concept, says Overdrive the Penguin. Cool, glad you're here watching with us. By the way, still 2,300 peeps tuning in, so thank you ever so much, everyone. Be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch if you haven't done it already. While I'm at it, why don't we just plug some other stuff? Oh, did I accidentally do a derp? No, I didn't. I have a Discord server, discord.gg/Asuma. I'd love to have you over there. It's a community of like-minded peeps that enjoy these streams and videos, as you might suspect. Also, if you've seen any textures, tweaks, changes to the game on screen in this stream, it is thanks to vanilla tweaks, with exception to my Shulkerbox mod. Not my mod, just the one that I use. URL on the screen for you to go and check out. What else could I plug? Oh, did you know that I have a YouTube channel? You probably came here from the YouTube channel, but I'm putting it on the screen for you anyway. I also am on Twitter and do tweets and things like that, so if that interests you, I have a Twitter account. Okay, enough with the plugs. Jeez, advertising much. Selling out, aren't I? Okay, so this is essentially what would be there, and thus, ooh, look at that. It then wraps up nice and neat in the corner here. Oh, we could actually have like another showcase room that lines up that way, which I think, actually, yeah, let's do that. So we'll have one here as well, so this goes somewhere. This could then just, like, you could have showcase rooms there, and this could lead into like a staircase and go to another floor, and B-Dubs and Corrales can just lay this out however they like. It's going to be super cool. Okay, 1, 2, 3, that comes down here. Bring that over there. All good. All good in the hood, homie. This build is looking great, says Gallo Frango. Isn't it looking really good? I agree. It's looking really good. Now this wall here, I'm not sure what material it should be, really. When I say wall, it sounds a little bit like wall. And I'm also considering building the wall out of wool, which is getting really confusing. Stop saying wool. Which one is it? Wool or wool? I don't know. I just don't know. I need some space. I need some storage space. I've got all the things and I don't know where to put them. A lantern, for example, goes in over here. As do those torches, I guess. I think it makes sense for that bit there to be black wall, basically. Let's get this concrete in. Hey X, how do you recover when you are burnt from Minecraft? I have this attitude of like being committed to something and continuously doing it, rather like, and not going by how you feel. Like with personal fitness, it's not about feeling motivated for me. It's about doing it because I know it is good to do, and I'll feel the rewards for it. And the same thing is kind of like with Minecraft, but of course Minecraft revolves around being creative, and so burnout is a problem. But for me, the real trick is that I write down everything that I want to do, and so when I'm not really feeling it and I am air quotes burned out, I still know what needs to be done, so I go and get it done. And more often than not, in the process of getting it done, I get back into it, and all the energy comes back, and it's like, oh yeah, I love this. If I didn't have those notes and I didn't make that routine to get back into it, then I would struggle. And I've gotten better over time. There were times when I would actually be pretty exhausted for days, and I'd just be doing what needs to be done. But I think over time it's just got better and better. So from season 4 and onwards, it's really just been smooth sailing most of the way in my memory of it, I guess. I'm going to need the andesite here. That's not the andesite. The andesite is that one. Shishwammy! Why don't you use Paper Spigot for performance and you install plugins? Because then we wouldn't be playing the vanilla game. The way that you get better performance from Paper MC and Spigot is by changing the game and changing the parameters of how mobs and AI and stuff works. And as much as we would love all of that, we do want to just be a vanilla server. Therefore, we have to put up with the vanilla performance, I guess. Man, this is looking good. Very clean. Let's get that black wall in over here. Where is my black wall? Where has it gone? Where is it? I just don't know. Oh, maybe I don't have any. Yeah, I probably don't have any. It's the real problem. Not the one I was trying to do. There we go. And I might have made more than I actually need. Right, I reckon we're going to mirror this over on the other side. Makes sense to, doesn't it? So that's a little 3x3. We use that as a measurement over there. This is great. This room looks so good. So we would have a 3x3 here. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we would be going into new territory. Can I get some dirt? I can. I need a little bit more than that, to be fair. I needed a little bit more. Whoopsie, I shouldn't have taken all of that out. Now I'm just making a mess. Ah, what is wrong with me? Yeah, just like that. And we'll get a couple of andesite slabs in here as well. Cool, and then that wraps around all the way over here to the entrance. Very nice. Cool, so now we can drag... it might actually be a little bit different here. Let's see. Where do you end up? You end up there. Oh, so I don't need any more? How did we do it on that other side, actually? Right, it just became an extension of the wall. Huh, so where I ended it up here just happens to mean... Well, hang on, let's look at that again. So we have the door. Right. The door is right next to the wall. Okay, that makes total sense to me now. So this actually ends up in the exact correct spot, which is really cool. Let's build it up then. I love your world and I need some Minecraft friends to play with, says Maddie D. Well, I have a Patreon server, so do many of the hermits. And time and time again do people report really enjoying the Patreon communities. So if that's an option for you, you could always consider going there. You tend to find in the Patreon communities you have like long-standing communities that play for long periods of time, you know. Not something that just starts up and fizzles out. So like the Let's Play Minecraft Together server that I have has been going for well over a year. And still people are on there every day playing, doing amazing cool projects together. Every now and then I end up streaming on there, which was actually something I was supposed to do recently, and I just kind of, that idea got by me where I've been busy. Been very busy, but yeah, that's something I need to do actually. It's actually Double Moses I was supposed to talk to last time we talked about it. Double, if you're watching, drop me a message on Discord and I'll talk to you about it later. Why your name comes up. If Double's watching, probably very alarmed all of a sudden. What, me? What did I do? There we go, there we go. So, that is the roof complete. We've got the pathway still to do, and we need more black concrete in here. But, like, the foundations are down, and it looks absolutely sick in here. Really does. This corner looks a little bit dark. Oh, look. Well, that explains why it looks a little bit dark, because I haven't finished the roof. Let's go sleep in a bed before those baddies try and kill me, right? Idea is looking great, says LionScript, isn't it just? We've got so much more to do in this area, though. Like, it really is a mega project. Of the most meganess, if that is even a thing. Okay, can I run? Oh, absolute fail. Absolute fail. He's up on the hill, run away! Die already! There we go, that took you a bit of time, didn't it? Okay, let's get this inventory tidied up because it's looking a bit silly. Okay, white concrete, black wall. There's just no space anywhere here, it's crazy. Okay, here you go. Lots and lots of logs. That needs to stay in my inventory. Apparently, when I went and got those ender pearls earlier, I probably already had them in my inventory. Some of you are probably laughing at me for that. I say, leave me alone. Okay, we've got our box of concrete over here. We're done placing all the white concrete, believe it or not. We're done with that. So we need more black concrete next. We'll go with a stack of each again. But I think that's the last time we're making concrete today, so... back into the ender chest you go. I'm thinking of putting the sand and gravel in one box so I can have another box for other stuff. Because I rarely use like the whole thing at once, and if I am going to use the whole thing at once, I probably know why in advance, right? I'll be getting prepared to use that much. So in my mind, it kind of makes sense maybe to have those a little bit separated. Let's put the dye, the bone meal, got a redstone box, and the lights away. Keep all that colour coding together, keep it memorised. Don't need that. Don't need that. Probably don't need the fuel again. In fact, I'm just going to put all of this away then. Right, let's go make that concrete. Hey X, what do you do in your Discord, says Fat Tiger. I haven't done a lot in there lately, but usually I tend to like pop in and see what people are talking about and say a couple of things occasionally. But really it's for you to talk to one another. I did make quite the effort a while back to you know, be in there every day, but then I just kind of fell out of that pattern and got busy with other stuff again. You know, I'm not like, a lot of the stuff that I do and set up for other people isn't stuff I do myself. Like, it seems strange, but like, I stream for all of y'all and I enjoy it, but I don't watch streamers. I don't really do streams that way like you do. And I, you know, set up this Discord and people help run it, and you know, it's there for you, but I don't particularly Discord myself. Like, apart from Hermitcraft, I don't really participate in any like communal Discord for anything. It's not the way I operate. I'm just like, this is what I do, you know, I create and put stuff out there. Let's grab some andesite slabs as well. I know there was a chest. I know there was one with andesite. I saw it earlier, don't be telling me I didn't. There it is. Oh, is that all the andesite I've got left? Goodness me, we've torn through that then. We have torn through that. Oakley dokley, right. The Discord is me just posting pictures of cats and spamming the music channels, says Badger. I mean, you keep that channel active. There's never a shortage of content in there, that's for sure. What YouTuber you least expect to see in the Hermitcraft server? I don't really think much about who's going to join Hermitcraft or whatever. We're great as a group as we are right now. We don't really need to change anything. Upside down half slabs for cost per brick, says Terra Ninja. Yep, just saving me using more materials overall. That's all I'm doing. It's pretty smart if you ask me. It makes placing them a little bit more finicky, but it saves you a lot of materials. So it seems quite worthwhile. Are you interested in philosophy? I'm a university philosophy student, says MKH. Yeah, totally. Love anything philosophical, really. I've got a load of philosophy videos saved on my Watch Later playlist. Like, there's loads of stuff lumped into there that I think I'm going to do something with later on, but I never know what it is. But I find philosophy fascinating. Back to the nuclear energy talk. It is actually much safer than using coal. The effects of nuclear disasters were contained in a very small area. The radiation decreases from nuclear waste at an exponential rate. So as long as it is disposed of properly, our friend was right about the 5 years. Well, I really disagree with that. I'm pretty sure I've heard it many, many times that it takes a very long time for this stuff to decay when handled properly. I could be wrong, but you know, I'm just gonna go and say that don't sound right at all from what I've heard. And you know, I'm saying what I've heard because that's all where my information comes from, right? We're all exposed to different information out there, and we can be very ignorant to the fact that other people are exposed to different sets of information. And it can be very difficult. Like I said earlier when we were talking about food and stuff, like you can get one set of experts saying this and you get another saying the exact opposite. It's all very difficult to figure out sometimes. Okay, look at this. When we look up now, we have a finished, gorgeous entrance to our showcase areas. The half-life of the nuclear waste is dependable on the isotopes it contains. I wouldn't know if that were true or not. Sounds very sciencey. Sounds like it could be true. When do you think? What do you think about Mars? How do you think people's lifestyles will change after going to Mars? I think in our lifetimes we're never really going to see going to Mars as being like a lifestyle choice. I'm going to go live on Mars for a few years. That's so far off in the distance. There's so many huge obstacles in the way of going to Mars that I think it's a bit ridiculous. But NASA recently announced that they're going back to the moon in 4 years, and the way they talked about using it to mine resources and how they're going to set up camp there and develop it sounded actually really pretty interesting. Right, great stuff we did today. I just keep wanting to walk around here, really. Look at these millennials going to Mars, says Mork. Going to Mars, are they, eh? Going to Mars we are. X, you're both right. It was disposed of correctly. It would take 5 to 10 years. If there's a leak or accident, the nuclear waste takes hundreds of years. I'm really sure that 5 to 10 years for correctly disposed does not sound right at all. I seem to remember... I think it was like a Tom Scott video that talked about how they have to safeguard nuclear waste and how they have to create these very special sites that will last thousands of years, and then they have to kind of create symbols or signs to tell potentially future creatures, humans, whatever it is that come along, because this society could collapse and all that we've learned could be lost and we have to learn things again. I mean, knowledge itself is like incredibly complex and woven among our population. Like, you got a phone, we can all just pick up the phone. I'm picking up mine and looking at it, right? Imagine you then were thrown into the wild. How long to you on your own could make that phone again? You couldn't. But like, what else? How long to you could make a simpler object? Could you make a plastic bottle? Probably not. Could you make a brick? Probably got a good chance of making a brick, but then again, you probably have a lot of trial and error and maybe struggle to survive out there in the wild on your own. All this knowledge we have is all kind of like built on top of our constant progression going forward. And so if we lost all of that, things like symbols and signs themselves could actually lose all meaning. And so if you're trying to create a sign that says, don't go here, this will kill you, like, how do you convey that, was the point of the Tom Scott video. And then, like, we have a curiosity towards danger. Some people would see this thing and be like, it's an ancient tomb, I'm going to go inside and find out who's buried there. Ah, no, I've been killed by radiation poison. You know, like, how do you keep it safe? So, remembering that, I'm thinking, surely the point of it is that we have to safeguard this stuff for thousands and thousands of years. And so we have to safeguard it in a way where we consider the fact that future inhabitants might not be the same as the people we have today, and they might not know the same language or symbols and signs. And therefore, how do we safeguard it from them? Anyway, we got noises in the ear. We got Tick, Tack, Clutch, CL for 2 months saying, how do I get to on the Patreon server and the Discord? You can visit the Discord URL to join, discord.gg/Asuma. To get on our Patreon server, you can become a Patreon, or you can become a Twitch tier 3 subscriber. That's this subscription thing right here, and you get instant access if you do it that way. Hopefully that answered your question. Jao UR is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Big Papa House is resubscribing for 6 months, saying, super late. 6:17 for me, couldn't sleep, came down to find an next stream. Love being a part of the conversation. Awesome, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Also, Darth Chinius has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Darth Chinius with the daftest of all chins. With the daftest of all the chins. Ugh. Ugh. I'm trying to push the buttons and make the things happen, peeps. Reason being that we're at the end of our stream. So I'm looking for a channel to raid right now. Let's go click on the things. Click on all the things. Yes, click on those things. Oh wow, loads of Chinese channels are streaming. They're very popular. Let's try and find someone with not a lot of viewers and in the same language that I speak, right? I need friends. Let's send this person some friends. Fun Prodigy X. No idea where I'm sending you, peeps, but if you look into chat, you should be able to hit the raid button. Did I get that right? There you go. Hit raid. Let's go raid a random channel. Send them some love from the Minecraft community, and that'll be that. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you when I get back from my holiday. Bye bye.